Namo Devaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Praveshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are going to continue to read today from Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 17, where Maitreya Muni is speaking about the creation to Vidur. So we can see how the creation, trying to understand the creation is so important that it is repeated a couple of times in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's not repeated for the sake, because there's an error. There's no error, but it's just to make us understand the position of the Supreme Lord in the matter of creation, the position of the material energy, and our position in relation to the Lord and the material energy. So reading on. So anuvishto bhagavata yashete salila shaye loka samstam yatha purvam nirmame samstaya swaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is lying on the Garbhodaka ocean, entered the heart of Brahma, Brahma brought his intelligence to bear, and with the intelligence invoked, he began to create the universe as it was before. At a certain time, the personality of Godhead, Karanodakshai Vishnu, lies in the Karana ocean and produces many thousands of universes from his breathing. Then he enters again into each and every universe as Garbhodakshai Vishnu and fills up half of each universe with his own perspiration. Yesterday it was mentioned the water of perspiration. So that is the Garbhodaka ocean, because Garbhodakshai Vishnu fills up half of the universe with his own perspiration. So that's the Garbhodaka ocean. So that's spiritual also. So Mahavishnu or Karnodakshai Vishnu, he's lying down in the Karana ocean, and from his breathing, All the universes are coming out. So many universes are coming out. Then he's entering into every universe as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. He fills up half the universe with water called Garbhodaka ocean, and he lies down on that water. The other half of the universe remains vacant, and that vacant region is called outer space. Then the lotus flower sprouts from his abdomen and produces the first living creature, Brahma. Then again, as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, the Lord enters into the heart of every living entity, including Brahma. So then Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, he's already inside the universe. Then he's entering into every atom of the universe as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. That's the Paramatma feature. He also enters into the heart of Brahmaji. So Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, he's there in each and every one's heart as Paramatma. He's there in your heart, my heart, heart of dog, heart of pig, everyone's heart. He's sitting right next to us. We, the soul, are inside this material body in the region of the heart, and next to us, Kshirodakashayi Vishnu is sitting there. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter. The Lord says, I am seated in everyone's heart, and by me are remembrance and forgetfulness made possible. So we can see sometimes we just remember something, and we are like amazed. How do I remember it? Oh, where did it come from? Suddenly we think that's the Paramatma in the heart. And sometimes we forget. We can't remember what we did in our past life. No matter how hard we try, we can't remember who we were in the past life. This forgetfulness is made possible by the Paramatma. When we are sleeping at night, we forget everything. Whatever is so dear to us during the day that we are like rushing, full of energy, full of attachments during the day, those very things that are so dear to us during the day, we don't care about them at night at all. We don't care. We don't care where we are when we are sleeping. We forget everything. All this is made possible by the Paramatma. As the witness of the activities of the individual entities, the Lord gives each one remembrance and intelligence to act according to his desire. At the time he was annihilated in his last birth in the last millennium. So the Paramatma, he's there in our heart, and what does he do? He's witnessing our activities. He's witnessing, and then because he's giving us the remembrance, he's giving us the intelligence. What intelligence is he giving us? Because we each of us have desires, and because of these desires, we are in the material world. So then the Paramatma reminds us, hey, you had the desire to do such and such thing, so get up and do it then. And then so he reminds us of our desire, and then we continue with the activity. Same happens when our birth in the last millennium, and same happens when we wake up every morning. Every time we sleep in the night, we forget everything. In the morning, the Paramatma reminds us, oh, this was your desire yesterday. And then we continue acting. This intelligence is invoked according to one's own capacity or by the law of karma. So the law of karma also acts. Because of that, depends on what material body we get. We get a body based on our activities, based on our desire. And so the intelligence is provided according to that. So because everything has become so automatic, it's so fast, we think, oh, I remembered it. We are not able to understand that it's the Paramatma who is reminding us. Because if it was, oh, I remembered it, then why do we forget when we are sleeping? How can we forget when we are sleeping? And sometimes we try very hard to remember, but we cannot. Somehow or the other, we just cannot. So we can understand that it's the Paramatma. Brahma was the first living entity, and he was empowered by the Supreme Lord to act in charge of the mode of passion. Therefore, he was given the required intelligence, which is so powerful and extensive that he's almost independent of the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So who becomes the Brahma in the universe is the most perfect personality. The most perfect living entity is given the post of Brahmaji. when we go to apply for a job application, so CEOs also is a CEO, also they apply, right? Somebody is appointed as the post of the CEO because they find that to be the most suitable personality. Similarly, Brahmaji is our uh, highest post in this universe. And so he's given this necessary resources with which to act. He has the intelligence, and he has so much intelligence that he can create the secondary creation. He's doing it perfectly well by the intelligence Krishna has given him. So he appears to act almost independent. He's not independent, but almost independent, that he decides, okay, which living entity is going to go where based on our desires, which planet are we going to go to, what body are we going to get, are we going to be in the immovable species or the lower species or the human species. Just as a highly posted manager is almost as independent as the owner of a firm, Brahma is described here as independent because, as the Lord's representative to control the universe, he's almost as powerful and independent as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, the boss of the company gives certain powers to the manager so that the manager can do the work properly. Not that for each and every decision, the manager has to call the owner of the firm. Okay, major decisions will be discussed. They'll have maybe meetings once a week or once a month. But during the day, there are so many different things to do. So the manager is not going to be calling each and everything. Depends on how important the matter is. If it's a routine matter, he will manage it by himself. And similarly, Lord Brahma is the same. That's why whenever there are certain matters when Brahmaji is not able to handle, then he goes along with the demigods to the ocean of milk to meet Lord Vishnu, and then he asks his help. The Lord, as the super soul within Brahma, gave him the intelligence to create. Therefore, the creative power of every living entity is not his own, but it is by the grace of the Lord that one can create. There are many scientists and great workers in this material world who have wonderful creative force, but they act and create only according to the direction of the Supreme Lord. A scientist may create many wonderful inventions by the direction of the Lord, but it is not possible for him to overcome the stringent laws of material nature by his intelligence, nor is it possible to acquire such intelligence from the Lord, for the Lord's supremacy would then be hampered. It is stated in this verse that Brahma created the universe as it was before. This means that he created everything by the same name and form as in the previous cosmic manifestation. So we have certain creative power. Each of us have. Krishna has given us these abilities, the intelligence, the strength. He says it in the Bhagavad Gita, I am the strength of the strong, I am the intelligence of the intelligent, I am the ability in man. So this creative energy that each of us has, that is given to us by the Supreme Lord. Now we might say, I want to become as creative as the Supreme Lord, because that is what is our desire. And that's why we are here in the material world. Each of us is trying to become Krishna. But we can't. We can't become as creative as him. Sure, we can create tiny things. We can, but we cannot create an entire material cosmic manifestation. We do not have that capability. We might create one planet. We may be able to create the planet, but the elements, earth, water, air, fire, ether, we are not able to create it. No one can create it. It's only Krishna who has that. And so this intelligence was given to Lord Brahma by Krishna, and he is doing this Visarga, the secondary creation. Any comments or questions?
So all the three Vishnus are always there.
Yeah, in the
Vishnu,
Purusha avatar, the Purusha avatar.
Yeah.
So whenever the cosmic manifestation is happening, whenever the material world is manifest. Because when it's all inside the body of Mahavishnu, then there is no Garbhodakshai Vishnu, there is no Shirodakshai Vishnu, right? It's
Right.
all there in Mahavishnu's body.
Right.
So
And
when,
that means, yeah, when you become an animal, that means finish. Now, how will you go up? You can't ever elevate, right? Because
yeah,
the intelligence is not there. You don't have the, right?
yes,
So imagine, na? Because you
then,
forget everything. I
yeah,
mean, as a human being also, right? Even we forget everything when we are given the birth of a human being. I wish Krishna would have given us that, at least that realization that what we have done in the past, we don't repeat.
but he does. When we get the desire, he does give us the remembrance. We will not maybe exactly remember what we did, but we will get the realization. Oh, even I have done all these things in the past. So let me not judge others and let me just try to clean myself up. Krishna does. The more we chant, the more we chant, he gives us these realizations.
But when you fall into an animal, you become an animal, then
Oh,
there's no
man.
chance, right? Then
Yeah.
no chance, right, of elevating.
Yeah, but until and unless again we do the full cycle. Suppose we are a tree, then gradually how the evolution happens. From tree, you will probably become an aquatic, then the bird, then the animal, then human being. And not only one, there are 8,400,000. So we have to do 8 million species before we come to human being. So as you correctly realize, that's the reason that this human body is so important.
So important. So
Yeah, because in the next life, if we become animal, then again, we are in the material world for a long time. So Prabhupada, that's why I would try to say that make this life your last life. You have gotten this human body. So you hear and chant about Krishna. And with humility, you encourage others to hear and chant about Krishna. So that at least in the next life, we can get a human birth. Even if we are not
yeah,
able to go back home this life, at least in the next life, we get human birth and we can progress from
yes.
there. At least we don't become animals. Because in the past lives, we really can't remember what we have done.
Yeah, that's why, like, I
And
wish
so
that
we
was
don't know
Krishna,
really.
why did you
So,
take that away from us?
and so with and if we don't know what we have done in the past life, and so
Exactly.
maybe our next life is supposed to be of an animal, right? Also because
Yeah.
depending on how we are acting in this life, our desires and our karma. But that's why it says that even a very small devotional service we do, just we begin hearing and chanting, saves us from the greatest type of danger. Trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpam api asya dharmasya. Trayate
Rayati.
mahato bhayat. Thank you. Yeah. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that even we just say Hare Krishna, just have prasadam, then at least next life can get a human life and can.
Like God has given, I would like to add, like God has given smriti and vismriti. Like we tend to remember things and we also forget the things. Imagine if we don't have this quality, then what will happen?
Yeah, imagine if we cannot forget our past life, we won't
Yes.
be able to live in this life then.
Yeah.
Imagine if we were to remember, all our past
All the
lives,
things. Yeah.
what we have done, we will be, oh my God, what have I done?
What have we done?
Yeah, what
No,
have
but I
I.
feel like at least that way we can repent and start working on it, no?
The
Yeah.
more
The
we.
minute you start chanting, your life begins. The
Yeah.
spiritual life begins.
So what you said, Smriti and what
Vismriti.
was
Like you forget.
okay,
Vismriti.
Vismriti.
Yeah.
Okay.
the more we chant, the more we get the realization, oh my God, what am I doing? And that's the
And
reason.
sometimes we remember, I think it's this instinct, right? That's the
That's a
Yeah.
Paramatma.
Paramatma that's guiding us.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when we say instinct, what is that?
Yeah.
That's the Paramatma. Like many people say, oh,
Paramatma.
animals, they have instinct. So who's that?
Mm.
What is that instinct that is guiding the animals? That's the Paramatma.
Paramatma.
And same for us also. It's the Paramatma.
Mhm.
Krishna clearly says in Bhagavad Gita that from me come knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. And he says, I'm the intelligence of the intelligent, the strength of the strong, ability in man. Then he's the witness of our activities and overseer, permitter of our activities. So all that is the Paramatma's function here in here in the material world. That's the reason Krishna is our best friend, you know. He's our best friend. He doesn't leave us. Imagine, no matter what we do, no matter which body we take, he's with us always. That is his unconditional love for us, that he loves us so much.
True.
So keep reading on. Sasarja chayaya ya vidyam pancha parvanam agrataha tamisram anda tamisram tamo moho mahatamaha. First of all, Brahma created from his shadow the coverings of ignorance of the conditioned souls. They are 5 in number and are called tamisra, anda tamisra, tamas, moha and mahamoha. The conditioned souls or living entities who come to the material world to enjoy sense gratification are covered in the beginning by 5 different conditions. So we are souls. We are all souls. Whether we are in the material world or spiritual world, we are all souls, right? But in the spiritual world, the souls are called liberated souls. Liberated. And in the material world, we who are in the material world, we are called conditioned souls. We come, why? Because we come to the material world to enjoy our senses, sense gratification. So now we are put under 5 different kinds of ignorance. The first condition is a covering of tamisra or anger. We are given this conditioning, 5 different conditions. Now we put conditioner in our hair, we put something to condition our hair. So now what is something that our soul is put? What are the things that is put on our soul? Anger. Constitutionally, each and every living entity has minute independence. It is misuse of that minute independence for the conditioned soul to think that he can also enjoy like the Supreme Lord, or to think, why shall I not be a free enjoyer like the Supreme Lord? So because of this mentality, we are here in the material world. We say, I want to enjoy like the Supreme Lord. Why should he be the Supreme Lord? I am the Supreme Lord. Why is Krishna God? I am God. So we are here. And this is the misuse of our minute independence. We each have independence. We have, what is our independence? Whether we choose Krishna or we choose to forget Krishna. We choose to enjoy together with Krishna, or we choose to enjoy separate from Krishna. When we choose to enjoy separate from Krishna, that is misuse of independence. This forgetfulness of his constitutional position is due to anger or envy. The living entity, being eternally a part and parcel servitor of the Supreme Lord, can never, by constitution, be an equal enjoyer with the Lord. So our original position is we are part and parcels of the Supreme Lord. So we are tiny. We are very tiny. Oh, sure, we are eternal. Sure, we are absolute. On the absolute platform, we are also souls. So, so it doesn't make a difference then who's the enjoyer and who's the servitor. It doesn't matter, because in the spiritual world, everything is absolute. But that is our position, that we enjoy in connection with Krishna. But then we get envious. Why is Krishna God? Why is he supposed to be the only enjoyer? Why should I think of him? Why everybody singing his glories? People should sing my glories. People should say, look how beautiful I am. People should say, look how beautiful my eyes are. People should say, look how beautiful my hands are, how beautiful my legs and feet are. So because of this envy, when he forgets this, however, and tries to be one with him, his condition is called tamisra. So eternally, when we are in our original position, we will never do such things. We will never think of such things. For example, sugar is sweet. Sugar can never become salty. Only if you do something to it, maybe it may become salty. I don't even know if it's possible. So we, in our original state, we can never ever think of forgetting Krishna, enjoying separate from Krishna. But because we have this minute independence, we chose to enjoy separate from Krishna, and we got covered by this envy. Even in the field of spiritual realization, this tamisra mentality of the living entity is hard to overcome. In trying to get out of the entanglement of material life, there are many who want to be one with the Supreme. Even in their transcendental activities, this lower grade mentality of tamisra continues. So we should try to give up this desire to become one with the Supreme, because that is coming from a place of envy, that I want to be him. Why is he him? We can see, for example, there might be a person, a particular man or a woman, and we find that they're very successful. They have everything that we want, and they look so happy. And it creates an envy in our heart, and we say, I want to be like that person. Why he or she has that? I should have it. Instead of appreciating, oh, wow, this person has all these qualities which I would like to have. This person has all the material facilities which I would like to have. So fortunate, this person is so good. Let me try to be his friend. Let me try to, learn from him, get some nice association from him. We don't think that. We think, no, I want to become him. How come he has it, or she has it? How come she has that and I don't have it? So that is envy. And so that's what we have with Krishna. But we should try to give up the envy and try to understand, oh, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He has the wonderful qualities. Let me try to understand more about him. Let me try to see, why is he God? What's so special in him that he's God? So this is what it is. Any questions or comments till now? This is a long part, but I don't know if you all want to finish it. We still have 2 paragraphs and it's almost 7:30. So up to you.
We can do it tomorrow.
Yes, we can.
I think we should finish it, yeah.
But Sneha doesn't have time. So
Otherwise, okay.
No, but is it very long or 2
paragraphs?
Okay, we can finish it, no? Yeah, okay.
Okay. So Anda Tamisra involves considering death to be the ultimate end. The atheists generally think that the body is the self and that everything is therefore ended with the end of the body. Thus, they want to enjoy material life as far as possible during the existence of the body. Their theory is, as long as you live, you should live prosperously. Never mind whether you commit all kinds of so-called sins. You must eat sumptuously, beg, borrow, and steal. And if you think that by stealing and borrowing, you are being entangled in sinful activities for which you will have to pay, then just forget that misconception, because after death, everything is finished. No one is responsible for anything he does during his life. This atheistic conception of life is killing human civilization, for it is without knowledge of the continuation of eternal life. So we might start thinking, we might think, okay, I can do whatever I want to do. It's fine. I'm inside this body. Anyway, what does it matter when I give up this body? After I give up this body, it doesn't matter. I don't have to suffer anymore. It's only till the time I'm in this body that I'm able to experience. So let me enjoy the maximum. Whatever I want to do, beg, borrow, steal, murder, perform illicit activities. It doesn't matter what all the sinful activities, meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex, what does it matter? Anyway, after I give up this body, I'm no more, my body is gone. So, but this is without knowledge, because we are eternal. We will continue to live. We have to understand that we will continue to live. Sure, we will give up this body, but we, the soul, we will have the reactions of what we are doing. So we need to rise above this. This andha tamisra ignorance is due to tamas. The condition of not knowing anything about the spirit soul is called tamas. Now, ignorance. What is ignorance? Is that we are thinking we are the body. Because we think we are the body, we say, okay, I will do whatever sinful activity. Anyway, I die, body is dead, no reaction, nothing. So doesn't matter. But this is ignorance. Tamas. This material world is also generally called tamas because 99% of its living entities are ignorant of their identity as soul. Almost everyone is thinking that he is the body, he is this body. He has no information of the spirit soul. Guided by this misconception, one always thinks, this is my body, and anything in relationship with this body is mine. So this is our ignorance, that we are doing everything based on the misconception that I am this body. These are my family, this is my relatives, this is my possessions, this is my property, this is my country, this is my society, this is my nation, this is my religion, this is mine, but we have to rise above it. We are all spirit souls. Each of us are have an eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord. And so each of us belong to the Supreme Lord. We are eternally related because we all have a relationship with the Supreme Lord. For such misguided living entities, sex life is the background of material existence. Actually, this conditioned souls in ignorance in this material world are simply guided by sex life. And as soon as they get the opportunity for sex life, they become attached to so-called home, motherland, children, wealth, and opulence. So sex life is not only the act of the sex, but the whole idea that I need to protect my family. This is how we are able to do it. Otherwise, we wouldn't. To take care of our family, our home, our possessions, our position in society, all that. There is subtle and gross, right? Subtle and gross. So all this is under this. As these attachments increase, moha, or the illusion of the bodily concept of life, also increases. Thus, the idea that I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine also increases. And as the whole world is put into moha, sectarian societies, families, and nationalities are created, and they fight with one another. We say, this is mine, this is mine, this is my body, this is my family, this is my city, my country, my state, my language, my religion. And then based on that, we fight. We don't understand we are all spirit souls. This is my gender. Many of us pick up fights. Oh, this is my gender, this is my political party, so many things. But we are forgetting that we are the spirit soul, and we do not need to create these boundaries. because these boundaries are just related to the body. They're just related to the body. So we shouldn't get into these things, mine and yours, and try to have a higher understanding that we are all eternal souls. We see many people, we tend to pick up fight with one another based on, oh, you are this and I'm this. And we create boundaries in that way. But whereas we are all eternal loving spirit souls, and the need of the soul is to love and to receive love. Mahamoha means to be mad after material enjoyment, especially in this age of Kali. Everyone is overwhelmed by the madness to accumulate paraphernalia for material enjoyment. These definitions are very nicely given in the Vishnu Puran, where it is said. So we want to get more and more things, more and more things. Why? Because that's how we think we will enjoy more and more. The more I have, the more happier I will be. That is our misconception. Vishnu Puran says, Tamo viveko mohasyad anta karana vibramaha mahamohastu vigni yo gramya bhoga sukhay shana maranam hi anda tamishram krodha uchyate avidya pancha parvesha pradur bhuta mahatmanaha. So we'll end here for today for Srimad Bhagavatam. And
Yes.
so thank you so much.
I just have one question. So these are the 5 layers that we are covered with, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The ignorance, the attachment,
Okay.
the attachment to the body.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our ignorance are covered by these 5 types, like
We, the soul, we are covered. We
as a body. Okay. Our soul is covered
by these 5 kind of ignorance.
ignorances. Okay.
The anger, the envy, the family attachment, the attachment to get more and more material things, mad after material enjoyment. All this is our ignorance.
Okay.
Because
There
if
is a difference between ego and false ego, right?
yeah, the true ego, because when
each
we
of us
say
has,
that, thank you, very good, because we each have an ego, but
yes,
what is the ego? What is the true ego? You see, the true ego is I'm an eternal soul, part and parcel of Krishna. That is our true
Right.
ego. But when we want to enjoy separate from Krishna, then it becomes false ego that I am the Lord. I want to enjoy my senses. That is false ego. I am separate from Krishna. I'm independent of the Supreme Lord. That is false ego. So we can never give up ego. Ego can never be given up.
Exactly,
Why?
yeah.
Why?
As the ego is always there.
Yeah.
Right.
Why can ego never be given up?
Because we are part of Krishna.
Yeah.
No?
Yes. Because we are all individuals.
Individual.
We are all individuals. So that sense of I will always be there. But the only thing is, how are we looking at that sense of I? That I am a part of Krishna, that is real ego, and that I am separate from Krishna, that is false ego. So we have to purify this false ego. We have to purify the ego, which has been covered by all this ignorance that we just heard about. And the process of purification is by chanting the holy name.
Right. Because many times, people say, oh, first you have to cut your ego, take out it. But you cannot. That ego is there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's the false ego which you have to,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we don't understand. Because we might say such things because we don't understand that we are eternal. We are always going to exist. So your realization is correct. We just have to purify our ego. And that means giving up ego. Giving up means we are giving up false ego and we are being situated in true ego. our true ego, as that I am part and parcel of the Lord.
Right.
Yeah. I'm a pure spirit soul. I'm part and parcel of Lord. That is our true ego. Jivera Swarupaye Krishna Nitya Das. When Sanatan Goswami asked Lord Chaitanya, who am I? Lord Chaitanya said that a living entity is eternal servant of Krishna. In the material world, we do not like to use the word servant because we feel servant is very low class. Why would I want to become a servant? But on the absolute platform, there is no difference between servant and master because it's on the absolute platform. It's spiritual, so there's no difference.
I'm a servitor of Krishna.
Servitor of Krishna, yeah.
Right.
But we are enjoying with Krishna, you know. There's only happiness in the spiritual world because there is no different egos happening. I want to do this and I want to do that. Each of us pulling in different directions. No, everyone is trying to see how to make Krishna happy. And that way, each of us is becoming happy and peaceful. And
So that means even in the spiritual, there is ego because we are still separate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We are individuals.
Individual, right.
Thank you. Yes, that's right. We can never become nothing. You know,
Nothing.
if I say that after I die, after I give up this body, I will become nothing. No, it's not possible. Even if I sit in the Brahma Jyoti, it is I who am sitting in the Brahma Jyoti.
Yeah. Right.
You know? So then, yes, okay, yes, I am in the Brahma Jyoti. So that I is there. We can never vanish.
Yes.
Yeah, we never vanish. Like vanish, like no more, nothing. No, never happens. So thank you for bringing up this very nice, important point, you know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Sorry we took you, went over time today.
No, no.